clacker. You want the clacker? No? Okay. Hello and welcome back to Retro 70s Kid. Tonight we've got a few things to cover. I'm going to show you my house decorated for Christmas. It's a little bit different than last year. It's not as much. I've toned it down a lot. I usually go a bit over the top. If you look at my last Christmas episode, I did a white Christmas, a Crystal Brut champagne, I called it, and I wanted something different. I'll explain that later when I show you the tree and the decorations. But stay tuned to the end for that, so please stay to the end and see that because it's beautiful, even if I do say so myself. And the other thing I need to address is the YouTube law changes. With the COPPA, C-O-P-P-A, and the FTC, the Child Online Protection Privacy Act, and the, look it up. Anyway, I'm only going to cover this in a nutshell. Okay, YouTube was fined over $140 million for directing advertising at children that shouldn't have been watching adult shows like this one. My show isn't aimed towards children. It's an adult collector's show. And like many and most of them out there are adult collector's show. And unfortunately with these law changes, shows will be demonetized, monetized. You will not get paid, even though I don't get paid. I don't make enough to get paid, I don't have enough yet. And you don't get likes, you don't get you'll have to cut this bit.
Views.
Bottom line, it's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. Comments. You won't get any comments. The show won't be recommended. Basically, any show you do will be just disappear off into the techno ether. Like it's just, they're just going to disappear. And if you don't make money, apparently your shows will be deleted. So I don't know what I'm doing. I know that most of my shows will have to be marked for children, which means that will probably happen to me. So the laws don't change till the 1st of January 2020, next year. So it's only a few weeks. YouTube and their law and everything, they're still being discussed and debated, and you can go online to the FTC and sign the petition and leave a comment, which everyone should do if you don't want YouTube to fold, which it probably will. So, so that's just a little thing I have to say on that, because I don't know what's happening with my channel. As a lot of people have said, it's not really worth doing if your shows aren't going to really be seen. So we'll just have to see what happens to the law. So this might be my last few, it might not be. So fingers crossed. We haven't really thought of an alternative yet of where to go, what to do on other platforms. So I don't want to do Patreon. Apparently other YouTube-like places you've got to pay to upload and pay to view. So we just have to do a lot of homework and see what's going to happen. So I may even get my own webpage or something like that.
I'll let you know.
So well, we will keep you informed and let you know, because I don't really want to stop because I enjoy it so much. So anyway, on with the show. Mr. Music, thank you. I've been to some few recent car boot sales, a little bit of volume. Thank you. Do you know this song? Guess that theme. If you're of a certain age, you will get it. It's The Flying Nun with Sally Field, of course, Sister Patrol. Now, oh, I meant to get it to show you. Where is my Flying Nun? Can you get that, producer? That's the Flying Nun I made. I have shown on an earlier episode of a Princess Leia with the hat and everything that I did. And I happened to find this incredible rare collectible doll. This is a 60s Dolly darling. I have one. I have shown it in my first Tin Dollhouse show. But this is a Dolly darling Flying Nun doll. Isn't she beautiful? And this is complete. Very rare, very, I'll start again. Very rare to find this complete with the hat and the clothes and even this belt. You never get the belt. And I've tried to look online, I cannot find one anywhere. So I think they've become rarer. So she is beautiful. So she might go on a string. Straight towards the camera. anyway, that's little Sister Patrol. I can't remember what company brought out Dolly Darling. No, I'm not even going to think. So, so that's her. She'll have to go somewhere nice. And then I've got a few other things. The other thing I got, will I do cars or dolls first? Okay, I'm going to do Astro Boy. I got this cute little Astro Boy. I don't know how old it is. It's just a little plastic thing, but I used to like Astro Boy as a kid. I know they've done new movies and new series and everything like that, which I haven't seen. But that just reminds me of the first Japanese anime kind of that I was used to. And we've got these two great cars. I picked these up for $3 each. This is a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. And of course, it's die-cast metal. And it's very much like Christine, which is why I've got it. I do actually have the die-cast Christine, which I have done in one of my Halloween episodes. But it's a beautiful model and it's in good condition. I didn't even get my rotator. Oh, look how dusty it is. I'm really embarrassed. I haven't cleaned these at all since I got them at the car boot. I'm just showing them as I got them. I usually give them a bit of a polish. But yeah, the dust is inches thick on that. So that's the 57 Shelley. This one, what did I say, 57 Chevy. The reason why I got this limo is because back in the 80s when we went to America, we went to Florida, Mum and Dad, my nephew and a friend of mine and myself. When we got to Florida, we got to the airport, we didn't realise how far away everything was, you know, in relation to each other. You know, Disney World, and we wanted to go to NASA, and we wanted to do this and do that, and it was incredibly long, hideous bus trips. So Dad said, stuff it, and he hired a car and a driver for the week. So we're in the little lap of luxury for a week. We got this, and this is nearly exactly the same as the car that we had. So we got driven around Florida in style, with a driver who, there's nothing like being dropped off at the front door of Disney World, spending the whole day there, and then just walking out the front gate and having a car waiting for you. Like, it's amazing. Especially when you're traveling. I highly recommend it if you can afford it. But I mean, the whole rest of the trip, we were buses and taxis the rest of the way, but just while we're in Florida, Dad hired a car, so that was why I got that. And then I got some copy dolls, some fakies, some rip-offs. And I got a Bratz rip-off. For all you adult Bratz collectors out there. It's very much like the boxes that they had with the furry... Oh. It did say it was a cheap fakie. So they tried, but this has probably got some age to it now. So, you got that. And I'll show you the back in a minute. I haven't even wiped this box over, you can see all the filth on it. And it's kind of taken from the Forever Diamonds line, what they've stolen for the back of that. But if you weren't familiar with Bratz and you were a parent and your daughter liked Bratz and you went out to a shop and you saw it, you'd grab it, you wouldn't think anything of it. But some of the writing, the English translation, to rank first among similar products, give you more surprise. They will be your friends. Please take they home. What is the other one? Hello, my baby. I will be your best friend. Please take me home. Let's go to play today to a happy day. Beauty fashion sweeting.
Baggy much?
Yes. And she's got a little pet, and she's got another little dress, and there's actually a couple of little accessories up here. You've got the little bag, which isn't too bad, and a giant lipstick, and I think this is supposed to be a brush. It looks like an eyebrow brush, and I used to have one of these when I had facial hair, and I used to brush my beard with it. But you won't be getting that brush through that hair, I don't think, and I'm not opening it up because I'm going to resell it. But I'm guessing once you take it out and take the hat off, the hair is very sparsely rooted probably, and probably not all the way through. But for first off, on looks, with the little furry jacket and the fur on the thingos, on the end of the pants, It's not a bad little outfit. She hasn't got the big Bratz feet. She's got little Barbie feet and Barbie shoes, which really take it away from being a Bratz, actually. But the face, it's even got eyelashes. Look at that. And only the special Bratz dolls had eyelashes. Hi, Sal, over at the back there. I haven't mentioned you. What about though?
Hello.
So yeah, that's that Bratz copy. And another weird copy which I've never seen before. A Novi Stars fakey rip-off doll. Now, obviously, the company who did this thought the Novi Stars were going to be a really big line, which they weren't. So I'm going to show you a comparison. This is called a Ardana Girl. Bring you more surprises. Fashion Girl. What a wonderful journey, is what it says. Fashion Star Dolls. In the back, see, that's the fakey. That's the original. The box, anyway. Oh, that's upside down. See, if you turn that the right way up, look at that. It's kind of the same. That face. And the back. See, it's fluorescent. What's it called? The shiny changes colour. Metallic, that's the word I'm looking for. So that's the real one, this is the fake. This is the real doll. I showed these a few episodes ago. If you haven't seen my Novi Stars episode, go and have a look. It's very interesting. Stand up, bitch. Sorry, cut that out. Now I'm going to open this one because I'm very curious. So the box is kind of falling apart. These are only $5 each, by the way. This one and the Bratz. And look, the box just... These are way easier to open than the original ones. I've spoken too soon. There we go, look at that. Okay. Oh, she's got equestrian girl feet. Let me just quickly undo this on fast forward. Bionic fast forward. That's what's going to be happening right here. Mamacita, are you around? I may need clippers.
Clippers?
What was that? Okay, shoes come off. Okay. Look at those giant feet compared to this one. Oh, they are bigger. But I've seen equestrian girl dolls which are like off the horses, and that's kind of like their feet. And what's this shoe which was glued? Supposed to be. They're supposed to be they've all come unglued. Look at that. I've never seen such a terrible looking fake shoe before. Look at that. It's just a vinyl sock. It's not even worth repairing. Anyway, that's her. Can you see the face? The face? Look at those eyes and the eyelashes. Very, very good copy. She's got these in her hair as well. The hair is... She's still got that on. You know, there's not a lot of difference in the hair. This is a grade down, but it's not a lot of difference. What's the rooting like? Yeah, cheap sparse. Yeah, look at that. So this hair doesn't brush very well for girls. For little kids who want to brush it, it usually doesn't last long. But for a copy, I think they did quite well for looks. Like, you wouldn't know, if I saw this at a car boot, I wouldn't know it was a fake one, put it that way. Because it's got some weight to it. The only difference is the legs and the... Let's have a... No, sorry, I have to have a look. Yeah. See, that's the feet difference. And of course she's a bit transparent. But they're the same shape, but they're just way bigger. So, let's look a little rubber band. So that's the fakey Novi Stars. What else is there to show you on this? Oh, she's got a little bracelet. She's got jewellery. She doesn't have earrings. Well, that reminds me, this fell out of a box. It's a little earring, I think. Maybe it's from the Bratz. Has she got... But anyway, I'll keep that aside just in case. But I think for a fake, that's really, really quite good. Especially the head. So, is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. All right then. Well, thank you very much for listening to me have a bit of a vent, a little bit of a whinge. Now, coming up, I'm going to be showing you my 2019 Christmas at Retro 70s Kid. Enjoy. So we're out on the lanai. Sorry about the traffic. I've toned it down a lot this year with the decorating and the lights, so it's only minimal. This is actually minimal for me. So I've only done the one set of icicle lights and the stars up here above the orchids. Sorry about this mess here, it's stuff I'm giving away. And again, I've decorated the umbrella, which is really nice to sit under, and we'll take you inside. I made this wreath just the other day to match the tree. I don't think you can tell, it's actually got copper, tinsel and gold on tree. So that's just the secondary tree to fill up that wall, which I put in one of these wicker, it's like a vase, on a copper table. And then you've got the garland. This year is quite plain, as I said, or this is like a quarter of the amount of what I usually do. And I put the garland up and I thought, I'm going to leave it like that. It's nice and simple. And the tree this year is, what is it? It is copper. It's all the autumn. So last year it was a white Christmas. It was crystal brut champagne, I called it, with a white tree. And I had every intentions of getting a new green, heavily flocked tree this year. And I'd gone to pick one out, and this tree was next to it, and it's a copper tinsel tree. Now some people might say, oh, tinsel, tacky, but it's not. I don't ever put tinsel in the tree, but it reminded me of the old vintage trees like the one I had as a kid, which wasn't gold, it was actually green and silver. But it's actually copper, and it's all the autumn tones and shades with a touch of winter frost. So the tree's actually copper, and the beautiful thing about this tree is in the morning to lunchtime, it's actually the nice deep copper shade. From lunchtime to afternoon, it turns rose gold, and then in the evening, it turns gold. So you get 3 different looks out of it. You can't really tell tonight, but on it I've got you've got the copper tree, there's copper decorations, brass, there's chocolate, there is like a very orangey rust, these crystal snowballs. And the way to give a professional look to a tree, so many people say to me, I can't get my tree to look like that. The secret's in the picks. These picks, they add everything. You can get a tree and put baubles all over it and it'll look lovely. But if you want that professional designer Instagrammy look, you use picks and you cluster your baubles in groups of 4 or 5. And you stick your picks in, all different sorts of picks, and it just gives it more of a natural downward slope. And it's very, very shiny and sparkly this year. I love it. With the mesh, copper, and it's got a bit of gold fleck glitter through it, with bud lights underneath that. It came up quite beautifully with a vintage star on top. And the icicles. This beautiful handmade, hand-blown icicle I've actually had since the 80s. I used to have 20 of them, I now have 1.5 left. But I've got lots of other. These birds are new, aren't they lovely? So is that peacock. And if you look on YouTube, nobody has done a copper tinsel tree. I think I'm the first. And the only tinsel trees are really vintage. And the table that's on, the side table, is a late 60s, early 70s side table. And this table you'll see on the Brady Bunch. This table was the side table with a giant 70s lamp on it that was next to the sofa in the family sitting room. So that's the same, or very similar one. And the table's a lot plainer this year. My designer coffee table, which I love. I don't know who designed it, but it's in the top 100 coffee tables of the world. So just a few little candies and things, and that lovely light. And this little setup over here with my usual decor of like, I think it's wicker, isn't it? The lamp and the, I'm going to call it a shalaba, I don't know what it is. And the table. And this I do every year, but it changes. This is actually vintage garland. It's a champagne colour. And this year I've just made it more autumn colours. And it's also a lot less. And the main white bit over here on my vintage fold-out bar is the white Christmas part. Still got to have a little bit of white Christmas. Crystal reindeer. Forgot to get batteries for that, damn it. And into the kitchen, the kitchenette, the secondary kitchen. I always decorate on top of the fridge. Makes it interesting. That's a little vintage 60s manger, not manger, nativity. And that is a vintage plastic, what's it, blow mold snowman, which is almost on its last legs. I've always had a lamp in the kitchen, I don't know why, it's just something I like. And the kitchen window. Last year it was all very flashy, everything I had on the flash setting. So I haven't done that this year, it's all just still. It was a bit overpowering last year. Then my cookie jars. And the sand on top of the stove is a cookie jar as well. So thank you very much for my Christmas room tour, and join me next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you very, very soon before the end of the year. Thank you and good night.